Hi everyone! Today I'm going to talk about my experience beta reading. I've been lucky enough recently to beta read for Maddie and Bee over at their channel Maddie and Bee, but this video is completely no information about Maddie and Bee and their book. This isn't about that, it's about my experience about beta reading, which is an entire practice all on itself. As a budding publisher, one day, it's a far-fetched dream, but it is a dream nonetheless. I would love to be able to be the person who reads books when they're first written and gets them from being just manuscripts to being published books. And beta reading was an amazing experience for me because I got to do that. I got to look at a book that was not even fully formed yet, or fully formed to the extent that the author still wanted to do lots of work on it before they sent it off and tried to get pictures for it, which is really exciting. So I just want to talk about some things that I found really easy, something that was really difficult, and some things that really surprised me about beta reading, just in case anyone's interested. I think the best thing about this was that I didn't have to correct grammar, punctuation, typos. Like, one of my jobs is that I'm a tutor at a private tuition place, so I'm forever correcting punctuation and grammar, and it does get tiring. It gets tiresome when you just have to keep looking out for the same errors. But beta reading's not about that. It's about reading sentences and thinking, does that sentence sum up what this book means to me? Are the themes coming through? Is the dialogue, is the comedy, is the reveals, are they hitting home? And that's just so more in depth and complex and just so much more fun to do. So moving on to one of the hardest things about beta reading was that obviously you're there to give feedback to the author, in this case authors. And I was like, well, we obviously have never met in person before. Laura's met Maddie and Bee and I was really jealous. I think they met up on like the day before Christmas Eve a couple of years ago, and that's just massive family time for me, and as much as I wanted to go, I was like, oh, I've got family plans, and it was all the way in Birmingham, so I would have loved to go on, but because we've never met in person, I do feel like there's this weird kind of like divide where I don't know how they'll take some of the things that I say. Like, even when I'm commenting on like Facebook or YouTube videos, I'm like, what if this comment is taken badly? And that's something that happens like whenever anyone talks to anyone else. So I kind of got over it a little bit just by making it really clear. Like, instead of saying I think this, I'd say I think this because, put lots of things in brackets, just like mini comments, so like the authors know my thought process as I'm going along, because we had to answer questions at the bottom of like chapters after every like 3 or so, just so the authors have got our general thought process. But what I like to do is, like, if I see a sentence I really liked or a word or something wasn't quite working for me or I was a bit shocked, I put that in the margins so they could kind of see where I was in like the live reading of things. It was if they were like watching me read it kind of thing, and I think that was really useful as well, because they want not just your thought reaction, like when I've sat down and I've thought about what I want to say to them, they also want to know how it makes someone feel when they're reading it for the first time, like live. Because if I wasn't beta reading it and I wasn't enjoying a section, that might be enough for me in like alternative universe, like put that book down. So they need to know that as well. But then that also comes on to my next biggest worry, was that do I take my opinion as like some sort of like gospel, or does my opinion not matter? It was like getting that balance between knowing my opinion mattered to them, but also that it was meant to represent quite a lot of people's opinions that are kind of like me. So like they asked for sensitivity readers, but obviously that I couldn't give them that, but I can still represent some people who have the same experiences as myself in a way, and then I could like give them that kind of target segment's reaction to it. So I did have that responsibility, but at the same time I knew that other people's opinions, so like people who were reading it sensitively, know more than me about certain bits of the books and could actually give good advice. So I just ended up not giving advice on things that I don't know anything about, and just ended up going with my feelings, which helped me ease the worry of like thinking too much or too little of my opinion. I just wanted it to be useful So that's how I got round to that. And then there was like the questions. Like, I thought this was a brilliant layout for beta readers. Like, I don't know if this is a common practice, but obviously the questions after so many chapters that just asked things like how you finding it, like what characters are your favourite, stuff like that is like really helpful after a few chapters, just to keep my mind going on like critically reading the book as well as just reading it for initial responses. But this actually highlighted something really difficult for me, and is that when I'm asked the question, what do you think will happen next? I don't know. I don't have a clue what will happen next. Even though in life, I'm always like, this is going to happen next in my life. I have planned this. When I'm reading a book, it's like I don't even give a shit. It's like, I don't know what's going to happen next. I don't even have like an opinion of what I want to happen unless there's some crazy thing where I think like someone's in danger or there's a ship going on that I'm not fancying. I don't mind. Like, I am a really open book when I'm reading open books. I just don't care. I'll read it, and if I like where it's gone, then I'll be happy, and if I don't like it, then I won't be. But I don't worry about it. I just read it. And that was something that was really hard, because they were asking, what do you think will happen next? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. So I have to think about it really hard. And that revealed quite a lot of things about me as a reader. I'm too optimistic. I'm just like, everything will be fine. No one will ever fall out. Everything will be great. And yeah, I feel like if I ever decided to write myself or as a publisher myself, I definitely need to look out for conflict, because it's something that I enjoy but that I don't like look out for. As with like making a video as well about beta reading and not knowing what's going to happen next, this was very lightly scripted, and I've said everything that I wanted to say about beta reading. I'd love to do it again. I really like it. So if anyone wants to ask me, then that would be great. I'm really glad that I could do that for Maddie and Bee. It was an amazing experience. So thank you very much, and very good luck publishing it. That's the most exciting thing. And if anyone's got any more questions, then let me know down in the comments. But for now, that's it. So see you later.